Good morning, or afternoon, whichever class you're in. So yesterday we were talking about different types of angles. So we're going to take our knowledge of the different types of angles and apply it to figuring out different types of triangles. So today we have the right triangle, the acute triangle, and the obtuse triangle, which you recognize from our angles from yesterday. So our first one is the right triangle. It has one right angle. And two acute angles. So if a triangle has at least one right angle, it is a right triangle. So that's your 90-degree right, and these two are your acute angles. Now it doesn't have to look like that every time. It can be upside down, it can be this direction, as long as it has one right angle. Oops, you can't see that. There you go. So sometimes, and I know some of y'all know this because I've told you, you might have to turn your computer or your head to be able to see the angle clearly. An acute triangle has three acute angles. So all three angles are acute. We can make it really tall. But all of these angles are less than what? 90 degrees. Remember that little circle means degrees? Obtuse triangles has one obtuse and two acute. What is something that all three triangles have in common? They all have at least two acute angles. So just because a triangle has an acute angle in it, does it make it acute? No. You have to look at all of the angles before you judge that. All right, so today we have lesson day 3. So make sure you have the lesson side up. Write your name, the date, and the period, which you don't have to write the period. You can write your number if you want. All right, says reminder, acute angles are less than 90, right angles are exactly 90, and obtuse angles are greater than 90. So y'all will follow along with me. An acute triangle has three angles that are acute. They're small and cute. An obtuse triangle has two angles, or we'll say one angle that is obtuse and two that are acute. A right triangle has one angle that is right and two angles that are acute. Now, at this point, you should have sticky notes, post-it notes, so we can better look at our angles on our triangles. So this is how we're going to do it. If you will get your sticky note and look at this first triangle. We'll get a little closer. All right. So what I'm going to do is look at it like this, because I can see that angle better instead of looking at the whole triangle. You don't need that there. All right, so looking at this angle, what do you think it is? It's an acute angle. So I'm going to put an A there. Then I'm going to look at this one. Well, I know that a right triangle would go straight up like this. So that looks less than 90, doesn't it? I'm not really focused. But, so this would also be a acute. All right, and let's look at this angle. What do y'all think this angle is? It's an acute angle too. Very good. So if all three are acute, that will make this triangle an acute triangle. All right, let's look at this triangle. Again, I'm going to use my sticky note to look at this angle, and I'm going to turn it this way so I can see it better, to where this is straight, because if I kept going straight, I know that that's a straight angle, and I would go straight up to make a right angle, and that looks like it's bigger than a right angle. So I'm going to call this a what? Obtuse angle. And if I have one obtuse angle, my other two angles are going to be what? Acute. So that makes this a obtuse triangle. All right, let's look at this one. Well, just by looking at this, it kind of looks like a right angle. So I'm going to put this on the bottom to see if that would be straight. And I know if that's straight, that would be straight up. And yeah, I think this is a right angle, which would make these two a what? Acute. And the triangle name is a right. All right, so right here is your practice. It says label each angle and the shapes as acute. Yes, as acute, obtuse, or right. Use the shapes to answer the questions. So Reno draws a triangle that measures 47, 71, and 68. We are going to label each one of these. So remember, less than 90 is what? Acute. More than 90 is what? Obtuse. And exactly 90 is right. So 41, less than 90 or more than 90? So that one would be an acute. 71, less than 90 or more? Also acute. 68, acute as well. So all three angles are acute. So it said, which shape could he have drawn looking at these shapes? Is there any that we can take out automatically? It looks like I could take out V because that looks like an obtuse angle. Now this angle looks like it has an acute, but I'm going to turn my page, and that now looks like a right angle right here. So that's probably not going to be an option. This one, I don't know that this one is a right angle. It's close to a right angle, but not quite. So all of these are what? Acute. And remember, use your card if you can't see it very good. That's an acute, and that's an acute. Is this the only acute triangle? No, but that's the one we're going to pick. Now, what kind of triangle did he draw? An acute. All right, so the next two I want you to do on your own, doing exactly what we just did. Look at each angle. Is it more or less than 90 or exactly 90? Label your angle, then pick out which shape he could have drawn and what kind of triangle did he draw. These two you're going to do, and then if y'all do them correctly and Miss Williams or Miss Charles says that you can, you will flip it over and do the assignment. All right, the top is talking about angles, the middle is talking about triangles, and the bottom is Bob and Steve. All right, and you will turn this into the math bucket. Thank you. Have a great day.